Hello guys, I decided that it's time to record some educational videos, and today I start with a tricky draw offer. What is it, a tricky draw offer? This is when you offer a draw but you don't really want it to be accepted, or you're fine with it to be accepted. Sounds weird? Let me explain you what I mean. Let's say we have a position which is unclear or full of fight, and we want to check our opponent's intention, and we offer a draw. And then there are two possible outcomes. The first one, he accepts the draw, then it's more or less okay. Yes, maybe the opponent is good, or maybe the position is not so good for us, or it's fine. The second option, he doesn't accept it, but he would spend some time on thinking to accept the draw or not. He would waste some, let's say some energy, like draw or not, should I play? Also, if he doesn't accept it, he takes responsibility on himself, and then you see he keep playing, but he's like already, oh, I should win because I didn't accept the draw. It's not only about taking extra responsibility on himself. Every single move after refusing your draw offer, he would think like, maybe it was better to accept the draw, like maybe I made a mistake, maybe it was not really necessary to continue the game. And especially it will be the case if his position will be slowly getting worse. Yes, so then he's like, or like, why didn't I accept the draw? I believe I noticed this idea, if we can call it an idea, in the games of Daniel Dubov, who is actually a very attacking player, aggressive player, but at the same time, what is curious, we can often see some draw offers by him even in the early stage of the game. So he wants to kind of, if he doesn't get anything from the opening, it's okay for him to offer a draw, kind of clarifying the intention of the opponent. And also, by the way, if the opponent accepts the draw, then we save some energy, save some time, and that's it. Like, we go home to take a rest before the next round. So I noticed it in some of his games, and the funny thing is that when people declined his draw offer, he used to beat them. This game was played 3 years ago. I was playing white. I'm not gonna show you the full game, it doesn't make any sense. Just the last moves, knight b3, queen c7, knight c5. He played b6, and I believe he kind of blundered something. He expected me to play knight b3, and then he had a plan maybe to play bishop d7 or something like that. I remember that he didn't like knight a6. He thought it didn't work, and he was not so happy when I played it. Because initially he thought that my bishop like maybe would get trapped or something like that. But I calculated that it should be okay for me, and I played knight a6. And here, after knight a6, bishop takes a6, he offered me a draw. At that moment, I had 18 minutes on my clock. He had 45 minutes. The problem for me is that black could play c5, black could play rook e6, and yes, white is out of any danger. But here I should also mention my condition in that game, because the round before that I lost by a terrible blunder, so I was in a very bad mood. And of course, my main mission was not to lose this game, especially after such a bad blunder. And since I already knew this idea by him, a tricky draw offer, I accepted the draw. Yeah, because like especially white doesn't really have a big advantage. After rook e6, the engine gives only 0.2. Yes, there are no problems for white, but I had 18 minutes for 18 moves till move 40. So, and also maybe somebody would would say like, okay, now I need to play for a win. The guy the guy is not happy with his position, so let's play for a win. No, don't believe to those guys. Of course, it depends if you play a tournament for experience or for result. Because if you play for experience and overall you're a young guy, then you need to play as much as possible. And what I explain here is not so interesting for you, but maybe it could be useful at least understanding your opponent's intention, and you wouldn't be like, oh, he offered me a draw, he's afraid, so I'm gonna beat him badly. No, it doesn't work this way. If you play for result, then you need to be smart. Yes, it's not only about playing chess, it's also about the game strategy. As an example, I would like to show you a few games of my student who played a tournament this summer, and he used this strategy. But before going to those games, let's think in which situation and against whom we could offer a draw. Because obviously, if let's say I am 2000 player and I offer a draw to 2300 player, then at least my position should be probably better, yeah, or at least slightly better, or maybe it should be equal and no chances for my opponent to play for a win. Then it would be a good draw offer. But if we offer a draw being 2000 player and offering a draw against 2300 player in a worse position, like they would say, what? You want draw? Come on, are you stupid? Yeah, no way. So we could offer draw in a worse position if we play against somebody who is low rated. Yeah, so let's say we are 2000, we play against 1800, we have a bad position. Why not? Like maybe like draw? If they accept, okay. If they don't, we didn't pay anything. Like, okay, we just asked. It's also fine to offer a draw against like maybe in a slightly worse position against maybe same level opponents, maybe 50 or 100 points higher or lower. Yes, so it's okay. And it's also fine to offer a draw if you're, let's say, 100 points or 200 points lower, but your position is slightly better. So kind of checking your opponent's intention. You see, if we are low rated, then most likely our opponent would like to beat us. And they would do their best even if they have a worse position. And by asking them if they would like to keep playing or like maybe draw, like they would be like, okay, I want to play, I want to beat that guy, but my position is like, there is no way. Okay, if he offers draw, then maybe he doesn't like his position, so I will play for a win, I will push, and they will overpush, and then we will use that against them. Before showing you games of my student, I would like to show you a very bad example of such an offer. This is a game I played 2 years ago against Divya Dismukh. This year she won World Cup among women, so like nowadays she's a strong player. 2 years ago she was something like maybe 2350, I'm not so sure. I was something like 2600 plus. I was playing white, and I don't remember exactly the moment. I think it was somewhere here. Maybe after knight takes c3, queen takes c3. Or maybe even after takes, maybe in this position. I don't remember for sure, like somewhere here. Anyway, the position is for two results. It's either white wins or it is a draw. I am 300 points higher. I had 1 hour in this position. She had 30 minutes. So these Draw offer, of course, like she didn't pay anything to offer a draw, but it was so weird. As I mentioned, my student played a tournament. My student was an unrated player, but he used to play chess when he was young, and then he haven't been playing chess for like more than 20 years, like maybe 30 years, something like that. He was unrated for this tournament, so actually it was very good for him because, you know, when you are unrated, in fact, if you play against a rated player, if they don't beat you, if they draw against you, they don't lose rating because you are unrated. So for him, it was even like a very good situation. Round 2, he was playing white against 1994. The opening stage is not so important for us, just for those who would recognize my style. Yes, just he made all the necessary moves. Queen c7, and here he made a decision to play knight d5, knight d5, cd5, knight e7, and after e4, he offered a draw. So a good moment, because here he still knows something, and the position is still better for him. So it's not like already he's on his way down. He knows something, but at the same time, it's already an independent play for him. Yeah. So just checking out the opponent's intention. And of course, if the opponent declined, then he would play. However, the opponent accepted the draw. Round 4, he played white against a woman who had a very bad tournament. So I told to him that you might play for a win. And he was trying, but eventually, like after a lot of fight, after some advantage for him, eventually he got some rook endgame. Let me show you the rook endgame. I don't remember exactly which moment, but he offered draw somewhere here, around this moment. White is a pawn down, but at the same time, there is a pawn on d5, so there is some activity, and the opponent declined. And let me show you what happened next. King c5, rook b7, which was a very serious mistake by black. And after king c6, king c7, white won the game. Of course, you might say that white won the game because of black's mistake, and it's true. But who knows, maybe that mistake was, maybe that draw offer like a little bit helped white in terms of that, yes, and a little bit distracted black. Round 5, it was a game against 2017 with black, and those who like, you will recognize the opening. However, he wasn't that well prepared, not well prepared, but he didn't have enough experience. So eventually he got a position like this. And after d5, white has an advantage here. But you see, actually, at that moment, my student had 2.5 out of 4. And I remind you, he was unrated. So for his opponents, it was already a bit stressful to play against him, because like, oh, what is this guy? He's like, he didn't lose a single game against like 1900 field, and he's unrated. What's this? Like, we should be careful about like playing against him. And in this position after d5, against 2017, like, you know, like, okay, what's this 2017? He simply offered a draw. And the guy who played white was thinking for 25 minutes and eventually accepted the offer. It is a very good outcome for black, because black's position is worse. After ed6, black is worse. And now we have a draw, yes, and we just asked like, draw? Okay. After 5 rounds, Kayvan had 3 out of 5 against average of like 1900 or something like that. So maybe with provisional rating of close to 2000. and he decided that it's time to push. It's time to push. And that was a mistake. Yeah. By the way, the tournament was 7 rounds, and he played white. I'm not gonna show you the full game, but just I mean, if he offered draw somewhere here, then I think his opponent would accept it. The same story happened in round 7. He was playing white, and he already wanted to play, yes, instead of offering a draw. As I mentioned earlier, such a draw offer is about getting a result, not about getting an experience. Of course, like maybe still about getting an experience in case if they decline our draw offer. But in case they accept it, then there will be no experience. So you need to understand what you're playing for. Otherwise, why not to try? You might try it, just offering a draw and checking it out. Like, especially it would be funny to do that against the players who would for sure decline it, because anyway we will piss them off a little bit. Such a draw offer could work in classical games, in rapid games. For blitz games, I don't think it's a good idea to offer a draw, but like, why not? Speaking of online chess, then of course it's not about bullet or blitz, but maybe like could be an option for rapid and longer time controls. Of course, it's not over the board, but still you can press that button, offer draw, and seeing your opponent's reaction, like if they accept it or not. That's it for today. I would be interested to hear your thoughts on this idea. Thank you for watching, and see you later.